What is up, YouTube, and welcome to this Iron Fist Season 1 Easter egg video. And also we're going to throw in some Marvel Cinematic Universe references in there as well. So this season was absolutely superb. Do not believe the hype from the critics, I would say, because it was amazing. But I'm assuming you've only come here because you've seen the first season fully. Well, if you're new to this channel, please do drop that like and subscribe. You can also, if you're a returning visitor, please do press that little bell button there for notifications so you know exactly when a video has dropped. So let's jump in and take a look at just what is happening this season, what references have dropped, because, well, this isn't the most well-known character, I would say, and, well, let's take a look. So the Meachums were a big part of the Iron Fist origin story. The images of him coming into the building, demanding he have his company back, etc. Well, this is all pretty much comic book lore. This happens the same in the 70s comic, although he is wearing his full Iron Fist regalia, which, well, is strange, but I would prefer that to everyone mentioning about his bloody bare feet all the damn time. Grant was actually the uncle to Joy here, and is also the brother to Harold, which is interesting there. They've changed the relationships, and I think the whole daddy issues thing makes it a lot better, to be honest, and makes it much more interesting. So we've got Colleen Wing, which is possibly, I would say, the show stealer in these episodes. She's absolutely superb. I loved having her in this season, and she is a complete and utter badass. So she made her first appearance in Marvel Premiere number 19, which is pretty cool. And, well, funny enough, she actually goes out and branches out on her own and meets up with Misty Knight, which you'll remember from the Luke Cage season, and they form their own kind of duo called the Daughters of the Dragon, which is pretty cool and was mentioned in this as well as her name in the underground cage fighting thing, which she also wore a white suit when she carried on and found that she absolutely loved fighting, which is very movie accurate there as well. Now, there's a subtle Spider-Man reference in this season where we actually have the John Anderson name, which was the pseudonym for Iron Fist and Danny Rand as he wanted to come back to America, which is pretty cool. And this was someone who lived above Peter Parker in the comic books. Now, that is a really deep cut, and well, every time I see a name in these Netflix shows, I have to Google it to see if it's someone in the comics. So we have Madame Gao here return, and, well, it's pretty cool seeing her in her full form again. And you know she's going to turn up all the time in these shows because, well, she is the thing that is really causing trouble for everyone in these shows. We also have mentions of the Crane Mother as well. Interesting. So the Crane Mother is someone who was actually a leader of one of the heavenly cities, and shit went down there as well. We also have the Immortal Iron Fist, the real, I would say, the proper, amazing, really good comic Immortal Iron Fist. Well, it was mentioned here when he says, "I'm the Immortal Iron Fist," which is always good as well to have a nice little name pop there. So we've got Carrie-Anne Moss's amazing turn as Jeri here again. She looks a lot nicer and seems to be a bit more helping than she was in Jessica Jones, and it's cool seeing her here again because, well, who cannot love our Trinity? I know we're getting another Matrix, but, well, she's the original Trinity to me. So in the fights as well that we had, we've also got the dude who was the announcer and MC for these underground cage fights. In the credits, he's actually listed as the Ringmaster, which is a really weird deep cut there as well, a Spider-Man villain. So I wouldn't read too much into that. I don't think they're really going to bring in the Ringmaster, that craziness, into the MCU. Again, here we've got Daredevil's heroine making a huge turn here. Obviously, this was a no-brainer just because really we have got the hand in this, and they love the heroine. They love to make the heroine, don't they? We've got the steel serpent logo in there, which is one of the big bads for Iron Fist. We also get Shou-Lao mentioned as well, which is the dragon, which is the source of all of Iron Fist's powers, and is the person which he needed to, or thing which he needed to destroy or defeat to get the powers and become the immortal Iron Fist as well. Obviously, Claire Temple as well is in this season. She has been throughout the whole of the Netflix seasons, saying, well, she's used to seeing the people with superpowers, that kind of thing. So I loved her reaction when they mentioned the hand as well. She was like, oh no, just after Daredevil season 2, and when she was laying low in Luke Cage, she must have thought, for fuck's sake, how have I got myself into this again? So the crisis management dude also mentioned the Incredible Green Dude, which it's interesting to see where he mentions this, because the Hulk caused trouble in New York twice, didn't he? Really? In the incident which I mentioned, and also in his solo film, which had, well, Edward Norton in it, which I think was better than Mark Ruffalo, but that's just me. So it's interesting which one that they will actually mention when he says that you've got more views than the Incredible Green Dude. And we've also got mention of Lei Kung, which is the Thunderer who trains all of the males in Kun-Lun. And obviously Kun-Lun as well, an Easter egg, obviously, which is the mystical city where all of this actual craziness stems from. In the scene where we actually see Madame Gao organise this duel, we had a pretty cool Easter egg where a few of the people he was actually fighting against were actually people in the tournament for the Heavenly Cities, which is where all of the kingdoms fight, and we have champions, which is obviously Iron Fist, and they are the Immortals. So yeah, pretty cool there. One of which was the Bride of the Nine Spiders, which is a quite big reveal here. We have them in the Immortal Iron Fist number 8 from 2007, and she is, like I said, one of the immortal weapons. So pretty decent there. They've obviously actually toned that down a bit there and kind of adapted it for how they wanted it in this season, which is very indicative of the whole show, where they've kind of really gone their own way, took the source material and really been quite liberal and a bit choppy with it. Now, one Easter egg which was completely obvious that this was going to turn up just because we've got Claire Temple in it, which is Metro General Hospital, which is where the chemist was taken to, and really it is a real staple of all these shows, mainly because it is the big hospital in this area, and it's kind of obvious that everything would end up here, to be honest. So we also got a brief look at the Iron Fist outfit in this show. So when Bataku was saying that, well, we've got some footage of the Iron Fist when he was being proper sinister, and I thought this storyline was pretty cool. I thought this was really intriguing when we had this kind of different sect of the hand, like I said in my season 1 review. We saw the Iron Fist predecessor kicking absolute 7 shades of shit out of everyone, and he had the Iron Fist outfit. In my opinion, it looked more like the season 1 Daredevil outfit, but I think this was meant to be the outfit that Iron Fist wears in the comics. We also got Davos in this show, which is this steel, or later becomes the Steel Serpent, and was a person who was expelled from Kun-Lun for trying to take out Shou, the dragon which gave Danny Rand his powers, and he wasn't happy about that when Danny Rand took those powers. And that is someone we saw in this show, and at the end, kind of lost his way, obviously, when he was talking to Joy, and we saw Madame Gao at the end. Not too sure what that Madame Gao thing was supposed to signify, to be honest, but it looks pretty cool, and I'm excited for season 2, especially with a huge cliffhanger at the end. So that's it for this video. Please do drop a like, please do subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.